race is modeled after the Paris-Roubaix.
Okay.
So we have different sectors of gravel spread throughout the whole 100-mile course. And so anytime you leave pavement and go onto gravel, we have a sector sign that explains a little bit about what you're about to see as far as the gravel goes.
The layering options, choices.
It's always
the hardest part. Right?
Yeah, you got to be able to take it off
like
though on the fly.
That's a good setup.
Yeah, and then I have a shell.
I'm contractually obligated to have clean tires and logos at the start of every race. Also, clean teeth.
Is this your first big gravel race?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, first thing over 60 miles.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Can you ride your bike that far?
I don't know, we're about to find out, right?
I'm Moriah Wilson. I'm in from San Francisco. I'm putting in a lot of miles and excited to be back racing. It's been good so far.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This year is going to be great. I rode here last year, and last year there was like 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it was COVID, so all our packets were all laid out and had to find your number and wandering around. And it was a lot of anxiety about what to wear and what the course was going to be like, but once we got on course, it was beautiful.
First time I've driven into California.
Yeah, what do you think of the county?
Seems we got some hills. It's a little chilly. It's pretty damp.
I think it's going to clear up a little bit. It's a little overcast right now, but I remember I did this race last year too, and it was pretty stunning. Like the views of Shasta are amazing.
Everything was white, and there were elk on course. They were jumping across the road. It was like a magical experience.
Last year, I remember I rode with a group of women pretty much the whole time until the end. There was a sprint finish, which was really fun.
What are you most looking forward to with the your first gravel race of the season? First time at the Shasta Gravel Hugger?
Oh God. Seeing the miles tick down slowly.
The course is not super hilly, so yeah, just looking forward to some fast riding.
It's at least melted.
I think it's slush, yeah.
Yeah, when we started off this morning, there's like 4 inches on the ground.
Oh wow.
So if we can see the gravel, I'm happy.
You have to think about where you're gonna attack and conserve energy, kind of be strategic. But I'm just gonna go with the floor today, see what happens.
Yeah.
Good morning, racers! Welcome to the 2022 Gravel Hugger! 3, 2, 1!
The annual Shasta Gravel Hugger is a Northern California version of a spring classic that is a blend likened to Strade Bianche and Paris-Roubaix. The route is a little over half gravel, with the different sectors being connected by some often not so nice paving. Much like Paris-Roubaix, Shasta Gravel Hugger rates its sectors for difficulty. The race starts and finishes in the tiny town of Montague, California, which sits in the long shadow cast by the Mount Shasta volcano with absolutely stunning views of the mountain throughout the course, weather permitting. In the early stages of the race, the athletes tend to be a little bit more civilized. They might get to know the athlete that's riding next to them, maybe get a little bit of last bit nutrition in, and get ready for the hard race ahead. You know that civilized nature is starting to change as the athletes ride single file. It means somebody's pushing the effort up front, trying to stress the legs of the athletes behind, hoping to create a gap. There's 2 routes: the full hug, 100 miles, blue bibs; the half hug, 62 miles, and orange bibs. Things start to heat up when they hit the Big Springs road sector, and you can see the race starting to split apart. The race has some beautiful white gravel, much like Strade Bianche, but also features 15 gravel sectors over the 100-mile course, just like Paris-Roubaix's cobble sectors. The men's race separates to a front lead group with most of the contenders, and then a chase group that actually contains the lead women, Mo Wilson and Serena Bishop-Gordon. They will do their best to stay in this chase group and encourage them to maybe even bridge back up to the men's lead group, but that is going to be a big task. Why the name Shasta Gravel Hugger? Well, it comes from the often used moniker Tree Hugger, often thrown around here in the Northwest. While Brainerd wouldn't necessarily class himself a tree hugger, he is very passionate about saving our gravel roads.
I've been coming to this area and riding my bike in the wintertime especially for years and years, and I have a good friend of mine that made a couple of courses that we came and rode, and I was like, this would make a perfect bike race. But my idea with the Paris-Roubaix doesn't translate well to someone that just wants to put on a regular bike race. So I decided that the way for me to do exactly like I envisioned is I have to do it myself.
They said it couldn't snow 4 years in a row, but boy were they wrong. You never know what you're gonna get in the mountains, and this year we got just a skiff of snow that would keep the athletes honest with their pace to keep the heat up, but in the meantime create a beautiful backdrop for this epic event. That chase group with the women's leaders Serena Bishop-Gordon and Mo Wilson continued to push the pace, trying to close the gap on the leaders as they rode through this beautiful snow section of this course. Meanwhile, at the front of the race, two athletes, Brennan Wirtz and Adam Roberge, were able to sneak away from the rest of the front pack and establish a two-man breakaway. Is it too early for two men to stay away for the entirety of this race? It's a big gamble to play, but these athletes sure were ready to play. Once the athletes hit the Edgewood Road sector, they knew there was a bit of a gap to the two front runners, and they began to rotate their pace line to see what they could do to bring this group back. Brennan Wirtz and Adam Roberge are two of the strongest athletes in the sport, period. And when two strong athletes like that get away together, there's instant camaraderie, and they know if they work together, they can continue to grow this gap, especially on athletes chasing behind like Pete Stetina. And if they continue to grow that gap, then late in the stages of the race, they can start racing each other. But for now, they're a team. The chase group knew things were getting serious, and no doubt, with an athlete with the pedigree of Pete Stetina in that chase group, he was going to be the one responsible to set the pace to try to bring these two back.
Since we're gonna go right by the aid station, maybe get a shot there just for posterity and then just bounce.
Yeah, then we got to get around to the backside of the Jeep Road pretty quick.
And if we didn't ride the course yesterday, we would have it.
As promised, the E. Louis Road sector provided a challenge for all the athletes in the race, regardless of if you were at the front of the race or one of the athletes just trying to finish. This segment definitely added a bit of technical challenge. Got to keep your speed up if you want to make it to the end of this sector. Adam Roberge tried to push the pace. Brennan Wirtz just kept his distance and let the Canadian set as much of a tempo as he wanted, just waiting for his time to pounce. Flats and mechanicals abound in this sector, but keep your head up, fix the problem, and keep moving forward. In the chase group behind, it was Jonathan Baker that pushed the pace through this sandy section, actually opened up a gap on Pete Stetina and the remainder of this field. Behind what is now the third group on the road, containing Serena Bishop-Gordon and Mo Wilson, continue to push the pace to increase the gap on the chasing women behind.
Way to go, guys and girls. Hey!
yeah.
Making sure you keep fueled up and hydrated is one of the most important things in a race like this, and Brennan Wirtz sure knows how to do it.
Dump it, yep.
And we definitely couldn't keep all the athletes fueled up without great support out there on course.
You take whatever you want from me. You take coffee, you take kitty, all this.
Gosh. All right. Thanks, guys. Be safe.
Seemingly, these front two athletes continue to work together over the rolling terrain on this course, but when you least expect it, Brennan Wirtz attacked Adam Roberge into this final section of the course. Brennan would still have his work cut out for him once he established that gap, as Adam Roberge is a many-time Canadian time trial champion. Serena Bishop-Gordon continues to push the pace as she tries now to catch back up to Mo Wilson, who has established a gap. The pain was written all over Brennan's face as he tried to maintain that gap into the finish. Pete Stetina and Jonathan Baker continue to work together to try to bring back the two athletes ahead. Trying as hard as he could, Adam Roberge continued to press the pace, trying to bring back Brennan Wirtz, but the gap kept building.
Now after that long climb, Brennan Wirtz just dropped Adam Roberge.
Now in full time trial mode, Brennan was just waiting for that finish line to come. Mo Wilson had a huge gap established, and she continued to press the pace as she got close to Montague. Serena Bishop-Gordon had latched on to a chase group, but it was too little too late as Mo Wilson continued to extend her gap.
Let's hear it for him. That was Brennan Wirtz.
Beautiful course, tons of fun out there. Never really done a race like this in these conditions, so it was a bit of a challenge in the morning, getting dressed and getting ready for what was going to be a big day. My plan was definitely not to do what we did. you know, Adam and I went on the attack, or Adam went on the attack, and I went with him very early on, about 20-30 minutes into the race.
Adam Roberge
and basically just rode without him the entire day until probably about that final descent, coming back into the finish, and I saw that the course direction was shifting, and we were kind of coming back around towards town, and knowing that there was going to be a long tailwind section, and that I'm a little bit bigger than Adam, I punched it really hard over the crest of that final descent, got away from him on the descent, and then just put my head down and drove it home.
Put our hands together for our racer coming home. Here we go, it's Adam Roberge, second place. Long day in the saddle, 2 up with Brennan for a long time.
Great attack.
Give it up for first and second. Adam Roberge.
If Pete is not there, we're going hard. Pretty much right out of the gate, Adam lit it up, and I know Adam pretty well at this point, and you know, when he goes, you gotta go with him. There's no way to pull him back if you let him out.
Oh, and here it is, a sprint for third. Pete Sedna, Jonathan Baker, and it is Jonathan Baker.
Champion, Moriah Wilson! Get up for Mo!
Fun day. Different than last year, but still got a little bit of snow and mud in there. So, not on the Jeep trail though.
I did too much work. Mo was so good at just sitting in, and then there was separation, and I spent like 20 good miles in headwind by myself.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was awesome.
Third place women's finisher, Flavia Oliveira. Good job, Flavia.
I got taken out of that crash. That noise? That was me. Sure happened. But you're okay. Your body. Yeah, I don't know. Took a hit on my head. It's like everybody piled up on me. But it's racing.
Baby, you'll be the first to know. If I ever make it.
For the 100-miler, Jonathan Baker, Adam Roberge, and Brennan Wirtz. Third place, Flavia Oliveira. Second place, Serena Gordon. And first place with the big cutting board, Mo Wilson.
Yeah, I love the road, don't get me wrong. It showered me with riches. But I love heading home to where I know the grass is green. I'm coming home.
Good job, guys.